ஆரம்பிக்கல.
शुभशन्त्या सर्वेभ्यो मम विनयशील नमस्कारः। अद्य दिन कार्यक्रमे स्वागतम्। प्रार्थना गीतं तेजस्विनी प्रस्तुत करेगी। Tejaswini is learning music for the past 10 years from Srimati Uma Ravichandran. She has participated in many music competitions and has won prizes. She has also performed in Sankara TV. She is pursuing her B.Tech degree in Sastra University, Tanjore. Agachatu Bhagini, Pratna Geetam Shravayatu.
Jnana Vinayakane Jnana Vinayakane Vallabhane Varashri Jnana Vinayakane Saranam Nallavane Mathalam Vallabhane Varashri Jnana Vinayakane Vanamalaviyavur Vichittiram Kande Vanamalaviyavur Vichittiram Kande Vanamalaviyavur Vichittiram Kande Mannavane me Paramanandam Kunde Mannavane me Paramanandam Kunde Mannavane me Paramanandam Kunde Jnana Vinayakane Sharanam Nallavane Mathalam Vallabhane Varashri Jnana Vinayakane Om Enum Pranava Unmayutporule Podum Gambira Naatai Kaattum Nattirule Om Enum Pranava Unmayutporule Podum Gambira Naatai Kaattum Nattirule Swami Sharavanasan Tamil Tanakarule Swami Sharavanasan Tamil Tanakarule Swami Sharavanasan Tamil Tanakarule Swami Sharavanasan Tamil Tanakarule Tirusamarasam என்னும் அழகு தங்கும் தகமதிலெங்கும் புகழது பொங்கும் பரமஞான விநாயகனே திரசமரசம் எனும் அழகு தங்கும் தகமதிலெங்கும் புகழது பொங்கும் பரமஞான விநாயகனே சரணம் நல்லவனே மற்றலாம் வல்லவனே வரஸ்ரீ ஞான விநாயகன் சரணம்
प्रार्थना गीतम उत्तमम आसीत्। धन्यवादः।
Thank you, Mom.
Subhashitam by Shri Ramakrishnan Magoday. Shri Ramakrishnan is 84 years old from Chennai, graduate in economics and diploma in electrical engineering. Served in Indian Air Force, actively participated in 3 wars, 1962, 65 and 71, and won many bravery awards. Retired as accounts officer from Defense Accounts, Chennai. A state athlete from 53 to 57. A Sanskrit scholar, most importantly, a Sanskrit scholar extensively toured temples, including Kailash Yatra.
Namaskaraha.
Namaskara.
Subhashitam. Rahasyam Atmano Dhiman Satrubhyo na prakasayet Anyata Vanchita Stabhyet Chanda Karmeva Rakshasaha. Rahasyam Atmano Dhiman Satrubhyo na prakasayet. Wise people never reveal their secrets, especially to others. If at all they happen to reveal their secrets, they will be at a great loss like Chandakarma, a Rakshasa. Once there lived a Rakshasa by name Chandakarma. A Pandit was taking bath. After bath, he was returning home. And he met on the way a Rakshasa. That Rakshasa told him, "You are my prey today, I want to eat you. But I don't eat any prey unless I take bath. Therefore, you carry me on your shoulder to the tank, I will take bath and then eat you." Rakshasa does not always mean that they will be huge or heavy-weighted people. Rakshasa is actually by quality tamo guna. They have dirty habits, torture others and enjoy in their crime. So he was reduced his stature, asked him to carry. The Pandit carried him on his shoulder. On the way, when he felt the bottom of the feet, that is the sole, he found it was extremely soft like a flower. He was wondering, he is a Rakshas, how his feet, that is the sole, is so soft. So he asked Chandakarma, "What is the secret?" Then Chandakarma told, "I never walk on with wet feet. I always clean the feet, wait till it's dry, then only I will walk." So this was a trump card for him. And he told, Rakshasa told, "Okay, we have reached the tank, I will take bath." He removed his clothes and placed it on a rock, nearby rock on the tank. He told, "Okay, take care of these clothes. After bath, I will come wear this dress and then only I will eat." Then the Rakshasa, he entered the tank. He made 2-3 dips. And the Pandit, he was so wise. He knew that he has revealed his secret. He cannot come out with wet feet to eat him. So there was a time lag. So he made good use of that time and he took his clothes also and he ran away. After dipping and taking bath, when the Rakshasa came out, he found the Pandit also missing and his dress also missing and he cannot come out. Therefore, in this way, the Pandit wisely escaped and the Rakshasa, because he revealed his secret, he was at a great loss. In the modern days, we know as OTP, the digital area. When we give the OTP to others, you know how these things happen. Thank you so much. Let us be wise and not reveal our secret to land into loss. Thank you.
Wonderful message as always, Mahoday. Dhanyavadaga. Swagata Bhashanam Dadadi, Mama Priya Bhagini, Srimati Vishali Krishnan.
सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः। अद्यतनं संस्कृतवाणी कार्यक्रमे सर्वेभ्यः स्वागतम्। अद्यतनं निरूपिकायाः श्रीमती गीता मुथुस्वामी महोदय। स्वागतं माता। कुमारी तेजस्विनी अपि स्वागतं, या सम्मोहन प्रार्थना गीतं गीतवती। श्री रामकृष्ण महोदयस्य स्वागतं, यः अस्माकं कृते सुभाषितं वाक्यतवती। श्री सुश्रुता महोदयस्य स्वागतं, यः प्रतिमासे भगवद्गीतायाः सुन्दरवाक्यं करोति। श्लोकाप्रार्थं चिरञ्जीवी हरिकृष् स्वागतं। स्वागतं श्री अभिनव किडम्बी महोदय, यः नरसिंह पुराणम् अतीव सुन्दरं वाक्यहितवान्। अस्माकं विशेष अतिथि श्री डॉक्टर N Balasubramanian महोदयस्य हार्दिक स्वागतम्। धन्यवाद प्रथावाय स्वागतं श्री शिवकुमार महोदय। अद्यतन कार्यक्रमे पुनः सर्वेषां स्वागतं करोमि।
She started even before I could introduce her. She is our pride of our group. An extra brilliant lady, or multi-talented, Srimati Vishali. She's a astrology expert, Vastu expert, and she has formerly worked for Customs Department and Film Censor Board member. We are very proud of her, and she is always there for us to give some interesting messages on Anmigam and Arrivial, how our science and spiritual things go hand in hand. Very interesting speeches. Everybody enjoys and look forward to hearing it. समय गीता पाठनम का श्री सुश्रुता जी. Dr. Sushrutha, Assistant Professor of Amrita University, Coimbatore. He has done his PhD in Yoga and Yoginia. Studied Vedanta from traditional Gurukulam system, starting from the very young age of 10 and for more than 12 years. He will enlighten us on the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita today. Swagatam.
Namaste sarvebhyah. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadasha Vidyasthanas Ambattvamanusamdadhami Bhagavad-gite Bhavadveshinim. Punarapi swagatam sarvebhyah. It is always a joyous moment to share not the lessons but the experiences we had while learning some granthas, some shastras like Vedanta. Probably all the elders sitting here have better experience in their life. Just to make us, all the youngsters, encouraged in the path of Vedanta experience, you are giving an opportunity that for all of us. So interestingly, today, while Ramakrishnan Mahodaya was narrating about the quality of Rakshasa, okay, it is not a person, it is the personality trait. In fact, the Rakshasa is not having the strong and long teeth and having ferocious face and all the decoration. Generally, it is seen to be a Rakshasa. Rightly, Ramakrishna Mahodaya said it is not the person, it is about the personality itself. So, in fact, Rakshasas existed long ago. They are existing, they will exist, because wherever you find some entity to be positive, negativity is automatically comes along with. And as we have two sides of poles, north and south, because the north exists, south becomes. So whenever we say Danava, there has to be Daiva as well. So Daiva and Danava always exists. And very interestingly, in the 7th chapter that we were pondering upon, also talks about why there are some people like Kamsa and Chanura and Baka and Ravana and Kumbhakarna. There are so many people that we identify as Rakshasas, and why they are unable to understand the magnanimity of the avatar itself. Okay? We don't know. In fact, according to our culture, everyone is an avatar of Brahma himself. Therefore, we call Ayam Atma Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi. And there are many claims because we do not actually differentiate any entity devoid of the Brahma Tattva itself. Anything that exists is Brahma only. Either it is non-living, living, or intermediate, whatever that exists, it is all just the manifestation of Brahma in with the intervention of something called Prakriti. We call in Vedanta as Maya and also sometimes Prakriti, but this is very, very evidently advocated in the darshanas like Yoga and Sankhya and few other Shastras. But what is the origin and where do these Prakriti explicit narration comes from? Here also in Bhagavad Gita we see Prakriti, Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti, and then he claimed in the 11th shloka that Dharma Viruddho Bhuteshu Kamosmi Bharatarshava. This is the statement we in detail we tried understanding. Okay. Now, coming further, ये चैव सात्विकाः भावाः राजसाः तामसाश्च ये मत्त एवेति तान् विद्धि न त्वहं तेषु ते मयि. They exist in me, I do not exist in them, meaning I am the support system even for Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Though we say these are all different components of Prakriti, still that Prakriti, Mama Maya Duratyaya, Mama Maya, it is not something else, it is not separated or exclusive existence that is there for Prakriti. And he says again and again and again and again, probably 10 times he claims that Maya or Prakriti, that we have different names, she is mine, meaning she belongs to me. Rather, I belong to her. In most of the cases, what happens in all our personality, common personalities are, we come under the clutches of Prakriti, therefore we are under her influence. Therefore, it seems, whether Prakriti is taking me or Purusha or the Atma himself is taking charge of Prakriti, at the ultimate stage, it is Brahma and Brahma alone. And we have dealt already what Brahma generally it is. It is simple existence, it is simple reality, it is simple what we claim as Tattva. Tattva means essence, the soul. Soul of music. Soul of music is Nada. Soul of dance is the appreciation of rasa. Soul of something. So when we start looking at what is the soul, the essence in fact. So essence itself is Brahma. That is simple claim. It's not, Chaturmukha and Panchamukha, all Shadmukha. We have Shanmukha. We have Murugan. We have Ganapati. Panchamukha Ganapati is available. And in Bhagavad Gita, we see Vishwarupa Darshana having uncountable, countless faces. But all of them are just the manifestation of one entity, that Tattva. So we call that Tattva, that is Atma Tattva, as Brahma. This is very simple, plain, direct, and that understandable language that we can, put it in very simple words. So when we say, even though there is Prakriti, Prakriti belongs to that Brahma and that Atma only. There is nothing else. So when we say there is nothing else, it doesn't mean the existence of Prakriti or the Maya itself is false. They exist, but beyond the existence of Brahma, that doesn't exist. Meaning that soul of that Prakriti is also Brahma only. This is Advaita Vedanta in precise, in one statement. Anything that exists, anything that is available, it is all either connected or directly or indirectly originating from that Brahma Tattva. This is Advaita Vedanta. And in Dvaita Vedanta, there are little more expansion of there are two entities and they have their own independent existence. So, okay, that is all left to one who really trying experiencing. It's not the topic of debate. So many times what happens, should I follow Vedanta, that is Advaita, or Dvaita, Shakti Vishishta Advaita, Vishishta Advaita? This is not the part and parcel of our tradition. If you feel that existence itself is Brahma, you are already following Advaita. If you think that, oh, there is a great Devata beyond me, there is capability is beyond my limitation and the fence, there is some entity which is beyond my ability, I say that you are different, I cannot come closer, I cannot become one like you. So when you experience that, so these are all not the part of debate, it is part of our experience and sadhana itself. Therefore, whoever is just fighting for Dvaita, Advaita, Vishishta Advaita and Shakti Vishishta Advaita, they're just losing the time in debate than trying to do sadhana and experience. This is very simple. Even Vedanta people also claim the same. So we all, as a common, audience, as a common citizens of this country, we need to understand there are lots of things to do in the life than debate. So debate sometimes this is more, there is ahankara, there is kama, there is krodha also coming out of this so-called debate in many cases. So we have to be little careful. What is the, and we say this is vada. Vada is tattva bubhutsaya samvadaha, meaning some two people coming together in order to understand some core content, that is vada. And we have vada parampara. And there are other parampara as well. We have jalpa, vitanda, hetva, bhasa. Those are all other way of debating, meaning the only goal of my talking to you, having conversation, is to win over. Okay, this is called jalpa. Or the only reason I am talking to someone is to identify what is the mistake that person is doing. This is not vada, it is no more called vada, it is jalpa, vitanda, hetva, bhasa and many other. So vada is two people or multiple people coming together, portraying their side of ideology and trying to put out their logical thinking to understand something better. So even within Vedanta, we have Advaita, Dvaita, Vishishtadvaita, Shakti Vishishtadvaita. There are many traditions. All of them are just following Vada Parampara. It is not Jalpa Parampara. Jalpa is just to destructive, without any goal, no purpose, simply to talk. It has no value. So coming back to the point, ejeva satvikaha bhavaha rajasaha tamasascha. Anything sattva, rajas, tamas, part of prakriti, ingredients of prakriti, it is all matta evedi tanvidhi. Understand, all of it is only out of me it is coming. It is not beyond me. And nattvaham teshu temaya. I am not in them, but they do in me. They do exist in me. And then tribhihi gunamayihi bhavaihi sarvam ebhihi sarvamidan jagat mohitam nabhijanati mamebhyah paramavyayam. This is what Ramakrishna Mahodaya has said. Mohitam nabhijanati. Okay? Mohitam, there is moha amongst all the Rakshasas, that they are the finest personalities that exist. That's what Hiranyakashipu claimed and said, Array, who is this Vishnu? Who is this that you are claiming? Where is he? Can he do what I can do? So that arrogance comes only when our buddhi is covered with that kind of moha. And in fact, this has exactly happened in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. That's what Shoka Moha Bhyam Abhibhutaha. There is only two, Shoka and Moha, that started stinging Arjuna. Therefore, he got confused and he had an ambiguity whether to fight, whether to go away, whether to show compassion, show sympathy, empathy. All those things come into picture only because he was covered by that moha. So connecting to the previous presentation of Ramakrishna Mahodaya, this is exactly what even Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Whenever our buddhi is covered with moha, we cannot see the reality. We cannot see our true nature. So our own Atma is covered by self-created moha that is unable to grasp the ability and the power of self. Okay, ahankara causes moha, moha causes ajnana causes all dushkarma ultimately gets into the loop of karma, and all it becomes very vicious loop. Therefore, so-called self-aware people have to be aware about that the only goal of all the karma that I am doing is to make chitta shuddhi. That is, even Vedanta and even Purumimamsa also claims the same. So with this, with that inspiration of whether moha takes over my personality or buddhi takes over moha, and there is a progress of our personality. That's how Bhagavad Gita tries analyzing in the 7th chapter. Slowly we will go further as well. There are some very important shlokas further in the 7th chapter. So with this, I show my respect to all the elders present here and thank the opportunity given to me. Dhanyavadaha, namaste.
The next session is Hindu Purana, Narasimha Purana. Shri Abhinav Kidambi Mahodaya प्रस्तुत करेंगे. Abhinav Kidambi is the 7th generation of paternal descendant of Yogi Madhibande Ramadhyani Kidambi Srinivasa Tatachar Swami of Tumkur, descendant of Sri Kidambi Achan Swami, and is the Dauhita of Mahamahobadhyaya Patra Kara Sironmani. Am I right, sir? Patra Kara Sironmani, freedom fighter, linguist, Sahitya Academy Award winner, an author, a translator. Agachadu Mahodaya. Mahodaya.
Namaste. It is very heartening to see everyone once again after a period of 1 month. Over the past 1 month, I am sure that each and every one of us had the opportunity to go through the summer in a different way. At least I hope that all of us had an opportunity to do some practice of yoga for this recent International Yoga Day. If you have not yet done any yoga practice this year, I hope that you've started. If you're already doing, I hope that you are continuing. And I hope that the yoga practice that you are doing or you will start doing eventually becomes as intense as possible and makes your life reach the final goal, whatever it may be. So with that Mangalavada, let us start with today's session. We are back with the Narasimha Purana. In the Narasimha Purana, most recently we have seen the Samsara Vriksha as shown in the Narasimha Purana, as well as the Ashtakshara Mantra and its Mahatmya. At least we have seen the Samsara Vriksha based on the Sankhya tradition in the previous session. Today, let us move forward to the next few chapters. We are currently in the 18th chapter. So there we see the Katha of Surya. So through Surya, there are a few devatas who are Earth. So the Katha, the chapter here begins with Bharadwaja in the of the birth of Ashwini Kumaras and also the Maruts. 8 Maruts. So all the Marut Ganas, that is the Marut Gana as well as the Ashwini Kumaras, how were they born? So Bharadwaja asks this, and we get the response. We see Daksha Prajapati had a daughter called Aditi. We've already seen the Vamsha Vriksha. And all the children of Aditi are called Aditeyas. And of these, one of them is called Aditya. He married Prajapati Twashta's daughter. So there are many Prajapatis, of which one Prajapati was called Twashta. His daughter was called Sanya. And Sanya had a little difficulty with Surya because he was too bright. His tejas was so much, his heat was unbearable. So apparently she went back home. Very like in our own houses, we have such an experience. No, when they are unable to adjust, they say, "No, no, I can't stay in that house. I'm going back home." Something similar has happened. She went back to Twashta's house, and Twashta said, "No, no, you should not come here. You are married now. You have a different life now. You can stay here temporarily. Go back." That's what I'm only paraphrasing. It's not how it is given in the Purana, though. And once Sanya comes back to Surya, we see that somehow she starts adjusting with him. And 3 children born: Manu, Yama, and Yami. Yami also is supposed to have another name, Yamuna. Yamuna is supposed to be an alternative, that is a synonym, Yami. We've already seen Yama Yami Samvada, I believe, months ago. And we continue. We see that at some point of time, again, Sanya is not able to cope with the heat of Surya. And so this time, that if she goes back home, that is back to Twashta's house, she will be sent back to Surya. So she wanted to have a solution. So what apparently she did was, she had her own siddhis. She was a devata also, right? So what she did was, she is the daughter of a Prajapati. So she had some level of siddhis herself. So she used her mind to create a shadow form. It's called a Chaya Rupa, or a Chaya itself. The name of this entity is also Chaya. Chaya literally means shadow. It so happens that she is like a clone of Sanya. Sanya's clone is Chaya. So Chaya literally means shadow. And Sanya, what she does is, she takes the form of a mare, a female horse, and she starts roaming in the domain known as Uttara Kuru Desha. Uttara Kuru is somewhere in the northern part of Bharata Desha, and she is roaming there as a female horse, it seems. So at that point of time, Yama and Yami discover that Chaya is actually not Sanya. So Chaya herself has children with Surya, and Surya did not recognize. But Yama and Yami, they recognize that this is not our mother. It is some form which looks like our mother, but it is not our mother. And after they report it to Surya, Surya realizes that it is Chaya. And immediately, the moment Chaya was recognized, Chaya curses Yama and Yami. She gives them some shapa. And Aditya immediately realized that this is Chaya and immediately cursed her children. So Chaya also has children with Aditya, and those children are now being given a shapa by their own father. Then Aditya started doing dhyana to discover where Sanya is, his real original wife. The actual wife came to his house from Prajapati Twashta's house. And so he found her in Uttara Kurudesha, and he finds that she is in the form of a female horse. And so he takes the form of a male horse, and he goes there and has a relationship with her in that form. And that is how the Ashwini Kumaras are born, according to the Narasimha Purana. And then we see that Brahma made these Ashwini Kumaras as the chief physicians. And Aditya took Sanya back to this region. And now we see that if Sanya has to stay with Aditya, there needs to be some adjustment to be made. So Vishwakarma is brought, and Vishwakarma reduces the heat of Surya. So there is some kind of engineering marvel which has happened. Surya's high heat capacity is reduced a little bit, and now it is bearable for Sanya, and she stays with Aditya. The next chapter is very beautiful. There is a Surya Stava. It is a stotra. The 19th chapter is a Surya Stava by Vishwakarma to please him. It is a beautiful stava. And there are 108 names of Surya which are mentioned there. Ashtottara Shatanamavali, you can see it in that. So it is a beautiful stotra. The Surya Stava can be studied more deeply. I will not be elaborating on that too much here for want of time. Then the 20th Adhyaya begins. Here we see the origin of the Marut Ganas. So at some point of time, Indra has defeated the sons of Diti. That is, the Daityas are defeated by Indra and the Adityas. The sons of Aditi. Both of them are what you call Diti and Aditi are wives of the same person, right? Kashyapa. And so Diti asks Kashyapa for a child that would defeat Indra's pride. So Indra is so proud that he has achieved something great by defeating the Daityas. Therefore, Diti is asking her husband to provide her with a son who will be able to directly attack the ego of Indra. Kashyapa also accepts and he impregnates her. She conceives, but he gives her a condition that she has to carry that child for 100 Sharad Rutus, meaning 100 years she has to carry him. And she has to be pure throughout that time period. So pure meaning she has to be in some kind of anusthana, some kind of sadhana has to be done. So when this kind of a condition is given, immediately Diti accepts and starts doing her 100-year-long tapas. During that time, apparently, Indra takes the form of a Vriddha Brahmana. He takes the form of an old Brahmana and just stands near her. According to the Narasimha Purana, this is mentioned. But if you go to other sources, for example, the Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, there this Vriddha Brahmana form is not mentioned. There it directly says that Indra comes to help his stepmother. That is what is mentioned there. And then we see that this place where they are, at some point of time, she goes to sleep without washing her feet. And a few years before the 100 years are done, she's taking rest without washing her feet. Immediately, Indra apparently enters into the garbha of Diti and cuts the fetus, unborn fetus, into 8 different parts. So 7 cuts he's doing. During the cutting, the child is crying, the fetus, unborn fetus is crying very loudly. And at that point of time, Indra apparently calls out and says, Ma Rodihi, Ma Rodihi. So this is what the Narasimha Purana says. But in the Valmiki Ramayana, you will see that Indra says, Ma Ruda, Ma Ruda. So that is how the Marut Ganas are getting the name as Marut. This is what is said in the Narasimha Purana. Marudihi has changed into Marut. But in the Valmiki Ramayana, it is Maruda becoming Marut. That's a very interesting difference. Then the 21st chapter also we will see, it is actually Vamshanucharitam. So Sarga and Pratisarga are mentioned. Now what about Vamshanucharitam? Sarga meaning the manifestation of the universe. Pratisarga, the further manifestation, all that is being described by the Purana. What about the Vamsha Anucharitam? What about the dynastic lineages? What are the what you call lines of kings, the dynasties? How about that part? You have not yet told us that. This is what is being asked. Immediately the answer is coming. So for this reason, I will share my screen. I request the sharing of request. So yes, I will share my screen if you give me the access to it. So first, there is a description of everything starting from Brahmadeva, Chaturmukha Brahma. So this is the Surya Vamshanucharitam. From Brahmadeva, there is Marichi. From Marichi, there is Kashyapa. Kashyapa gives birth to Aditya. Aditya gives birth to Manu. That is why we have Vaivasvata Manu. Vivasvan is Aditya's other name. That's why Vaivasvata Manu. Manu's child is Ikshvaku. This is the Vamshanucharita of Rama's lineage. So we see Ikshvaku being presented. After Ikshvaku, there is a name given as Vikukshihi. From Vikukshihi, Dyotaha is born. From Dyotaha, Venaha. From there, we have Prithuhu. Prithuhu is someone you may have come across in the context of the Bhagavata Purana, where you see some kind of a description of dharma and all that will come when you see the life of Prithu. Prithu's son apparently was Prithashvaha. From Prithashva, we have Asankhyatashva. From Asankhyatashva, we have the next person by the name of Mandhata. This Mandhata is an interesting name, at least in the modern times, because in Madhya Pradesh, I recently came across one presentation about Madhya Pradesh. The government of Madhya Pradesh sent some representative to speak about some initiative that they are doing for the sake of Advaita Vedanta. So somewhere in the center of Madhya Pradesh, there is a hill where they are constructing a huge memorial institution for Adi Shankaracharya ji and Advaita Vedanta. So they are apparently done with the construction of the Murti of Adi Shankaracharya ji. This is supposed to be the highest Murti of Adi Shankaracharya. Please go if possible. You can check it on their website. I do not have the link right now, but if you search for it, you will find it. And the hill where it is there, so that is called Mandhata Hill. That's a very interesting point that you have to know. Mandhata gave birth to Kurukutsa. Kurukutsa gave birth to Drishada. From Drishada, we have Abhishambhu. From Abhishambhu, we have Daruna. Daruna's son is called Sagara. If you have studied the Valmiki Ramayana, at least in a very superficial way, you will see that the Vamshanucharitam is slightly different in the Valmiki Ramayana, at least in the Surya Vamsha. Because after Sagara, immediately we will get Asamanjas, and from Asamanjas we will get Amshuman. This is what is observed in the Valmiki Ramayana as well as the Raghu Vamsha of Kalidasa. But here you will notice that 3 additional names are given in the Narasimha Purana. Sagara gave birth to Haryashva. Haryashva gave birth to Harita. Harita gave birth to Rohitashva. And here, interestingly, Amshuman is giving birth to Bhagiratha. And this, from here, you probably know the entire Katha, how he went to Kapila's ashrama and found out, and then he came back and all that. You probably have heard of it. Gangavatarana is given very beautifully in the Valmiki Ramayana. Bhagiratha's son's name is Saudasa. Saudasa gave birth to Shatrundama. From Shatrundama, we have Anaravya. Anaravya gave birth to Dirghabahu. From Dirghabahu, we have Aja. Aja is the father of Dasharatha. Up until here, we have the Surya Vamshanucharitam. From Dasharatha, we know Rama. And after Rama, only Lava is mentioned in the Narasimha Purana. Kusha is not mentioned explicitly. In the Valmiki Ramayana, you will see Kusha and Lava both are mentioned. First Kusha is mentioned, then Lava is mentioned. Here we have only Lava mentioned, and Lava is giving birth to someone by the name of Padma. From Padma, we have Anuparna, and the next one is called Vastrapani. And from Vastrapani, we have Shuddhodana. If you have heard of this name Shuddhodana, you probably remember that it is the name of Buddha. Gautama Siddhartha's father is called Shuddhodana. Interestingly, the next person is called Buddha. I do not know if it was a spelling error or if it was deliberately called Buddha. Maybe it is a slight modification of the word Buddha. No, I am not trying to give you exact details because I myself have to check the original manuscripts to tell you what is the original name. So this entire chart is the Aditya Vamsha, meaning the Surya Vamsha, the entire chart. So this starts with Brahmadeva. Somewhere in the middle you have Manu. Somewhere much further you will see Sagara, Bhagiratha, Aja, Dasharatha, Rama, and now finally there is somebody by the name of Buddha. You might be curious to know why are mentioned here. These Vamshanucharitas are also having multiple reasons. One of the reasons is to remember all these kathas associated with each character. Another, according to me, is to establish a connection which is a national integration factor. So the moment, see, if you go to the Pallavas or you go to the Cholas, you go to any Vamsha, the Raja Vamsha, they will tell you that they have their roots somewhere in the some already established Surya Vamsha or Chandra Vamsha. So this kind of lineage marking in that way is very useful because all these kings could immediately connect with them. Another interesting way these are manifested in our architecture in a physical form is found in the temples. If you go to temples of Kanchipuram, even today, or the Pallava temples in general, you will find that the murtis of the devatas are found, but in addition to them, you will find certain murtis, or rather certain shilpas of the rajas and their mantris and the sabha, and sometimes their shatrus, that is the Shatru Sena will also be mentioned. So all of these are meant for as means for national integration. So the Vamshanucharita that you find in Itihasa and Purana are not merely meant for just reminiscing on their kathas, but they are also social binding factors. They are helpful for national integration. With that, I would like to finish today. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Excellent, excellent, Mahoday. We get to know so many things which we have not known so far. And it is very interesting to know the lineage of the Suryamsa. Thank you very much. And though we have studied in Narayaniam about Sagara and the Dasartha lineage, you gave a very good idea. Thank you very much. The next session is Shloka chanting by Harikrishna in Standard 6, SBOA Junior College. His hobbies are badminton and other games. Altar decoration is his passion and place of interest. Agachadu, beta. Harikriss, Shloka chanting.
Ram Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Yam Harikriss. Ranachhutraganda Ninadabhiramam Chalattandavo Tandavat Matalam Lasattundilango Parivyalaharam Ganadishami Chanashunum Tamide Dvanitvam Savinala Yola Sivaktam Spurachundadandu Asatpijapuram Kalattarpasaugandhya Lolalimalam Ganadisamishanashunu Tamide Prakasa Japarakta Ratna Prasuna Pravala Prapataruna Jyotirekam Pralambodaram Vakradundaikadamtam Ganadisamishanam Ratnamala Giritam Giritola Satchantareka Vibhusham Vibhushaikabhusham Bhavatvam Sahetum Ganadishamishana Tamide Udanchat Pujavallari Drishyamolo Chalatrulata Vibramabrajadaksham Marutsundari Chamare Sevyamanam Ganadishamishana Tamide Purannishturalola Pingakshidaram Kripakomalodara Leelavataram Kalabindukam Kiyate Yogi Varye Ganadishamisha Nashunum Tamide Yamekaksharam Nirmala Nirvikalpam Gunatitamanandamakara Sunyam Paramparam Amnaya Garpam Vadanti Pragalpam Puranam Tamide Chitananda Shantaya Tupyam Namo Vishwagatre Chatre Chatupyam Namo Nandalilaya Kaivalya Base Namo Vishwabija Praside Shashuno Imam Sustavam Prataruttaya Paktya Pateta Simatyo Labe Sarvakaman Ganesha prasadena sityanti vacho Ganeshe vibho durlabam gim prasanne. Ram Ram.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very clear and ரொம்ப அழகா இருந்தது. ஸ்பஷ்டம் and very clear rendition. God bless you. Keep coming in our programs and try to participate as frequently as possible. Okay?
Thank you.
Good wishes.
Thank you.
God bless you. God bless you. Now is the time for us to hear our main speaker, Dr. N Balasubramanian, a physician by profession who started his career in public health. After a long stint in various capacities, he settled down in a private practice at Taramani, Chennai. He is an ardent student of His Highness Swami Paramarthananda for the past 33 long years. His passion is Vedanta. He has published 6 volumes of translations of Swamiji's English lectures on Vichara Sagara in Tamil. He has shared to all of his students. I am blessed to be one of them. His passion is Vedanta. He teaches Vedanta online. Doctor, it is your time. Doctor, you may proceed.
Kindly unmute your.
Doctor, mute ல இருக்கே. Unmute பண்ணிக்கோங்க.
Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Madhye Guru Parampara. Om Hari Om everyone. I am very happy to be a part of this August audience today. After attending, this is the second time I'm attending. I attended once before to find out what this was. After attending the second time, I feel that I should attend more often. And today's topic I have chosen is Ashtadasha Vidyayaha Prasthanani. அதாவது 18 branches of knowledge in our scriptures. Ashtadasha means 18. Prasthana means branches. Branches of knowledge is called prasthana. So what are the 18 prasthanas? Number 1 is Vedas. 4. Vedas are 4. Then Upavedas, they are another 4. Vedangas are 6. Puranas 1. All Puranas in 1. Nyaya 1. Mimamsa 1. And Dharmashastra 1. Totally we get 18. Ashtadasha. Totally we get 18. In Sanskrit language, there are 4 types of words. Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama and Vaikari. In Lalita Sahasranama, verse 81 it comes. Madhyama, Vaikari, Rupa, Bhaktamanasa, Hamsikara. That is, Vaikari means this is the form of manifested sound which can be heard by others. That's called Vaikari. So all the Vedas are in the form of Vaikari only. Manifested so that they can be heard by others. It was not written down at all. And then nowadays, of course, we have written down versions, but it was passed on from person to person by Vaikari. Brahmajnanam alone is the purport or tatparyam of the 4 Vedas. They are called Apaurushaya because they were created, compiled by God, given out by God. Given out by the Lord, God, given out by the Lord. And all other Shastras are Paurushaya. That is given out by human beings. The purport is, that means getting the knowledge of the Atman or Brahman is the real reason for the Vedas. Our human personalities have three types, three divisions. One is Karta, second is Bhokta, and third is Jnata. Karta is the doer, Bhokta is the enjoyer, and Jnata is the knower. So this for this Jnata, the knower, the other two, the Karta and Bhokta, assist, and they should be supportive to us to understand the Vedas. Vedas are four. One is Rigveda. Rigveda is in the form of verse. Yajurveda, which is in the form of prose. Samaveda, which is in the form of music. Atharva Veda, which is mixed and given out by the sage Atharva and Angirasa. Some part of the Vedas say Brahman alone is the goal. Another part of these Vedas say that we must meditate upon Brahman. That is, Upasanas are the goal. They give Chitta Ekagratha. And some other parts say that only actions are important. They give, this is called Karma Kanda. So from Chitta Suddhi, for Chitta Suddhi you take to Karma Kanda. For Chitta Ekagrata, we take to Upasana Kanda. And for Jnanam, we go to Jnana Kanda. The Vedas, four Vedas have 1180 branches or shakas. Of these, 840 branches are Karma Kanda. 232 are Upasana Kanda, that is Brahman as object of meditation, and 108 are Jnana Kanda, Brahman as an object of knowledge. So the end of the Vedas is called Vedanta or the Upanishads or Jnana Kanda. 10 Upanishads are considered very important out of all the Upanishads available. About 108 Upanishads are now in available in print form. There is a Ramakrishna Mutt version with all 108 Upanishads translated by N Balasubramanian. The 10 major Upanishads, they are called major Upanishads because Adi Shankara chose to write Bhashyams on those 10 Upanishads. The Rigveda contains the Aitareya Upanishad. The Shukla Yajurveda. Yajurveda has got two parts. One is Shukla Yajurveda, another is Krishna Yajurveda. Shukla Yajurveda has got Isha and Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Isha means Isha Vasya Upanishad. Krishna Yajurveda has got Kata Upanishad and Taittiriya Upanishad. Samaveda has Kena Upanishad. And Atharva Veda has got three: Prashna Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, and Mandukya Upanishad. So the Tatparya or purport of the Vedas, as I told you, is not pushing you towards pravritti, that is materialism, but guiding you towards nivritti, that is renunciation. So that is why we have four ashramas. In Brahmacharya, you learn. In Grihastha, you enter into the world. In Vanaprastha, you purify. And in Sannyasa, you renounce. That is how our whole structure is made. There was a post in our WhatsApp group on 8th June 25 about the Hindu philosophy. Even though it was complete, it more or less has some of the things which I am telling you today. On 8th June 25, there is a chart on Hindu philosophy. So this four ashramas lead us to they scaled and go like a staircase so that we can go from Brahmacharya to Sannyasa. Even some Abhicharika karmas. Abhicharika karmas na occult and occult karmas are called voodoo. It's called voodoo in English, also called occult karmas. Even some occult karmas are mentioned in the Atharva Veda. They say that it is to prevent us from going violent and killing another person specifically, rather than going and killing one and resorting to violent activities. You do this abhicharika karma. There's a karma called Siyana karma, which can kill the other opponent. So that is the Vedas. Vedas have got everything for us. It is a user manual given out by Lord. Then after Vedas, there comes the Upavedas. The Upavedas are 4. First is Ayurveda, next is Dhanurveda, third Gandharva Veda, and fourth is Artha Veda. In the chart it says Artha Shastra, but it's called Artha Veda. Artha Shastra is one given out by Chanakya. So we will call it Artha Veda. So first is Ayurveda. Ayurveda, Brahmaji, in way I say Brahmaji is a confusion when you go into Advaita Vedanta, you talk of Brahman. And then you say Brahma. Then you say Brahmin. All these things are confusing. So to identify this four-faced Chaturmukha Brahma, in our circle we call him Brahmaji. Brahmaji, Prajapati, Ashwini Kumaras, Dhanvantri and others are the propagators of Ayurveda. Charaka and Sushrutha Samhitas, they are all Ayurveda books only. Those of Bhagavad are included in this Ayurveda. The Kama Sutra of Vatsyayana also is included in Ayurveda only. Some of the topics like Stambanam, Vajikaranam, all these topics are discussed in Kama Sutra and they all come under Ayurveda. This is also mentioned in Charaka Samhita also. Next is Dhanurveda. Dhanurveda is the Upaveda initiated by sage Vishwamitra and it mentions all weapons. There are 4 types of weapons. One is releasing, second is non-releasing, third is releasing, non-releasing, and fourth is releasing through other devices. Releasing means that which can be released like this. That is from hand, chakram, discus, etc. release. Second is non-releasing. Non-releasing is swords, tridents, mace, etc. Gadayudam solrilla. Then next is releasing, non-releasing, which is axe, etc. And fourth is releasing through devices like arrow, slingshot, cannon. They are all released through other devices. These are the 4 types of weapons mentioned in Dhanurveda. And those thrown are called Astram. Those not thrown are called Shastram. The respective preceding deities are like Brahma, Vishnu, Narayana, Pashupati, Pashupatastram, Agni, Varuna, etc. are mentioned in this as these 4 kinds of weapons. The qualified person to wield the weapons are Kshatriyas. Very exceptionally, very rarely only, the other Varnas are allowed to wield weapons. One example is Drona. The Brahmins are not supposed to wield weapons because they are only eligible to teach. They should not wield weapons. So Brahmins knew everything about Dhanurveda, but as they should not take up the role of Kshatriyas, they did not wield weapons. For that matter, sage Vishwamitra could have killed Tadaka, etc. of his own, but he took the help of Rama and Lakshmana to the forest. So that way, it is, and what I am saying, the point I am stressing is the qualified person to wield weapons are the Kshatriyas. There are 4 types. The armies had 4 types of armies. One is foot soldiers. Next is mounted on chariot, then mounted on horses, then mounted on elephants. Dhanurveda also mentions what time the war should start, specifies all these things, when it should end, what are the other ideas which agree to the things given in Veda. Then the first section of the Dhanurveda, all these details are given. The second section the characteristic features of the teacher and the order of weapons to be used is given. The third section is dealing with the method of attaining through practice the mantra siddhi and the devata siddhi of the weapons received by the person concerned. The weapons are always received through a traditional guru, and that is given in the third section. The fourth section gives you the application of siddha mantras discussed in the third section. This Dhanurveda was obtained by Vishwamitra from Brahma and Prajapati. He popularized it to all Kshatriyas, and Kshatriyas were in charge of protecting the country, protecting Dharma, destroying evil, law enforcement, all these things were Kshatriya's duties. Next comes Gandharva Veda. Gandharva Veda was popularized by sage Bharata. In our Indian culture, every action is directed towards the God or moksha. So, our Bharatanatyam also is, if you see, if you intensely scrutinize, they're all centered towards the Lord. Even a sannyasi can watch Bharatanatyam, but you can't say that of the dances of the current days or the Western dances. We have Deva Gandharvas and Manusha Gandharvas, because the Gandharvas also alone were very, they were experts in singing and music and dance. The Deva Gandharva and Manusha Gandharva are also mentioned in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Manusha Gandharvas are those people who excel in music, dance, etc., who are living with us. The sage Bharata and the Bharatanatyam, sage Bharata means Ba is Bhava, Ra is Raga, and Ta is Tala. So Bharata is Raga, Bhava, Raga, Tala. It also deals with Lakshya and Lakshana Sangita, and then it deals with Swara, Tala, Murchana, etc. All these are dealt with in the Gandharva Veda. The instruments to be played, the music to be played, how they should be played, etc. When Agamas became very popular, temples also became very popular. The temples had then started music festivals and dance festivals in temples. Even today, for our puja, we offer Geetam and Nityam. These are all Agama rituals. We offer, during Deeparathanam, we offer Nityam and Geetam. Nityam Samarpayami, Geetam Samarpayami, etc. So all these things, according to the Acharyas, they all lead to Nirvikalpika Samadhi. They prepare our mind. The next is Artha Veda. Artha Veda is Niti Shastra, then veterinary sciences. They are all, and veterinary sciences means Ashwaveda, etc. Then Supakara Shastra, that is cooking. Nalan, the king Nalan, who went to the forest after the effect of Shani, was expert in Ashwasastra and Supakara Shastra. He was an expert cook, Nalabhagam. Then he was also good in Ashwasastra, and they took care of the horses of the king with whom he had surrendered. So those which are used for gaining wealth, they are called Artha Shastra, and with that the Upavedas is over. Next we go to Vedangas. Vedangas, now all Veda mantras are helpful in performing karmas and to do Vedanta Vichara through Vyakaranam, Niruktam, Allah. The proper pronunciation of mantras also, and their uses also, not only pronunciation of mantras and their uses, they are all helpful in understanding Veda and going to do vichara. What are the Vedangas? One is Siksha. Second is Kalpam. The third is Vyakaranam. The fourth is Niruktam. The fifth is Jyotisham. And the last is Chandas. What is Siksha? First Siksha. Siksha is pronunciation. The sthanam or place from which the sounds arise from the throat and nose or the stomach. These are all called, they are all dealt by the branch called Siksha. This is written by many people. One of them is Panini also. They deal with letters, position, and the knowledge of intonation. Intonation of Udatta means high-pitched intonation. Then Anudatta is low-pitched intonation. And Swarita is medium-pitched intonation. All these things are dealt with in the Siksha part of the Vedangas. They are also explained in all other Shiksha texts also. The Vedic commentarial texts like Pratishaka are also included in Siksha. Pratishaka, each Veda has got a Pratishaka Vidhi. According to that Vidhi alone, the Veda has to be understood. For example, Agni Mide Purohitam, we write. But it will be pronounced as Agni Mide Purohitam. That is a Pratishaka Vidhi. That is one example of what is Pratishaka Vidhi. Then the second Vedanga is Kalpa Sutra. That is, they instruct the method of performance of these karmas. Or they're all prescribed. Those karmas prescribed in the Vedas, how they should be performed, is given in the Kalpam. The Brahmanas who perform the Vedas are called who perform the Yajnas are called Ritviks. The Rigveda Ritvik is called Advarya. The Rigveda Ritvik is called Hota. Yajurveda Ritvik is called Advarya. Samaveda Ritvik is called Udgata. And the Atharva Veda Ritvik is called Brahmaji. Brahmaji himself is the Ritvik for Atharva Veda. The Yajamanas do a Ritvik Varjanam, Ritvik Varanam. Ritvik Varanam means they take hold of this Ritvik and ask him to perform that, surrender to him and tell him that please perform this ritual for me. So that they call Ritvik Varanam. That Varanam should be done with Dakshana, and then the Ritvik performs the Yaga or Puja for him. So all these things are found in the Kalpa Sutra. Here also there are many of those sutras. 6 main sutras are there. There are Kalpataru texts, they are called. First is Jaiminiyam of Jaimini Maharishi. Then Ashwalayanam of Ashwalayana Maharishi. Then Apastamba of Apastamba Maharishi. Bodhayaniyam of Bodhayana. Katyayaniyam of Katyayana. And Vaikanasiyam by Vaikanasa. These are the 6 Kalpa Sutras available. All these sutras deal with Shrauta karmas, which are prescribed by Vedas as karmas. Nowadays, except for Sandhya Vandanam, more or less all Shrauta karmas are lost. There is no, I don't know whether Agrigothram at all is done at all in urban areas. In some rural areas, of course, they are done. These Shrauta Agamas have taken over our field of puja, etc. Because all our festivals belong to the Agamas only. We do everything according to Agama. In Puja Vidhi also, there are Agama mantras and Vaidika mantras. For example, the Deepa Ratana, Natatra Suryo Bhanti is Vaidika mantra. Rajadiraja Prasakya Sahina is Agama mantra. So that's why these Kalpatarus have now become extinct. We now have books called Puja Vidana. So one Puja Vidana you buy, that printer, that publisher has got Agama mantras. Next, sometime else you go and buy one more Puja Vedana because it is old. Suddenly you find all mantras are Vedic mantras and you have not heard of these mantras. So choose the proper book if you are doing pujas. If you follow Agamas, keep following that. If you follow Vaidika mantras, keep following that. Don't mix it up. These are all Vedangas only. Then comes Vyakaranam. This word means root elevation or word builder. The rules governing how and where to add prefixes and suffixes. For example, if you take the word Vyakaranam itself, V plus A plus Kr plus Anam. V plus A is prefix and Anam is suffix for the root Kr. So that way, this is what is called Vyakaranam. Where to add and where, how to add. How to add the prefixes and suffixes and build a word. Root elevator. So then you get the, find out the exact meaning, we can use these methods. If there is any mistake in the Vedic format, we don't call it a dosha. We say it is chances prayoga. Vedathila, namma pandradhila illa. We not on what we do. If we make a mistake, it is dosha. Whatever mistake you find in the Vedas, it is called Chandasa Prayoga. For example, Parame Vyoman, there is a phrase called Parame Vyoman. It should be either Parame Vyomni or Parame Vyomani. But Veda says Parame Vyoman. So we accept it as seventh case, meaning Akasa, and then go ahead without finding fault with the Vedas. So this chapter, this Vyakarana, Patanjali, Vanini has written 8 chapters on Vyakarana called Ashtadhyayi, for which Katyayana wrote a Vartikam and Patanjali wrote the Bhashyam. It is said that Shankaracharya learned the art of writing Bhashyam from Patanjali. Some people used to say that. So there were initially 9 Vyakaranas. If you remember, Anjaneya is called Navavyakarana Pandita. So there must have been 9 Vyakaranas certainly, but nowadays we can't find any of them. We get only Panini's Ashtadhyayi. Panini's Vyakaranam is Apaurushayam. All other books are written based on Puranas and they are all Paurushayam. Then comes Niruktam. Niruktam is compiled by Yaska Maharishi. Yaska Muni is not called a Maharishi, he is called Yaska Muni. There are 13 chapters of Nirukta are there. Nirukta is mainly to find out the exact meaning of Vedic words. For example, the name Nachiketas or even Patanjali are all derived from Nirukta. How to get meaning of it. There is a small video in the YouTube also about what is Nirukta. A lady explains so well what are the 5 types of Niruktas. So these are all explained in Nirukta by Yaska, and he has also written a 5-chapter book called Nigandu. Nigandu is also a dictionary of Vedic words. In Brahma Sutra Bhashyam, Adi Shankara refers to Yaska Muni in Sutra 2 Bhashyam. He talks about Yaska Muni and his Nirukta. And we have all heard of Amara Kosam. The text of Amara Singha and Heman, they also come under Nirukta only. Then comes Jyotisha Sastram, of which I will not be dealing much on it. The Jyotisha works of Aditya, Garga, etc. or astronomy, astrology. These are all, they are also part of Veda and part of Vedanga, and they are all supportive of Vedas. How to start Laukika and Vedic karmas, we find the right time. Then we find times to improve our own future. Maybe we go to Jyotisha. All these things are done in Jyotisha. Next comes Chandas. The Chandas text is 8 chapters consisting of sutras written by sage Pingala. The Vedic meters like Gayatri are from Chandas. Anushtup has got 32 letters with 4 padas. Each has 8 padas. That all these things are written, or book and described in the Chandas book of Pingala. For example, Gayatri has got 23 aksharas for japa and 24 aksharas for homa. And also there is a thing called Smarta Gayatri. So finally, these 6 Vedangas, though they are called Veda Angas, they are very helpful in interpreting the Vedas. Next is Puranas. There are 18 Puranas and as many Upa-Puranas also. I am not listing them because anyone can Google and find out the list of 18 Puranas. You can, the Upa-Puranas are also said to be 18 only, but there are a lot of Upa-Puranas, like people coin Gayatri mantras on even Sai Baba. So that way, there are a lot of Gayatri mantras, a lot of Puranas. There is also a Gayatri Upanishads. Then Bhagavatam and Devi Bhagavatam are the 2 major Puranas. Some say Bhagavatam is the Purana and Devi Bhagavatam is Upa Purana. And the other party says Devi Bhagavatam is Purana and Bhagavatam is Upa Purana. But we need not worry about that. What we know is both are given out by Vyasacharya. So we take that as Pramana. Some more Upa-Puranas written by people like Parashara, etc. And the Tatparyam of Upanishads is the Tatparyam of Puranas also. Next is Nyaya Vaisheshika Sutras. Nyaya Sutras are 5 chapters written by Gautama Muni. Here logic is predominant. Nyaya Vaisheshika are usually clubbed together because more or less they agree in all their darshana views. There are 6 Astika Darshanams. Nyaya Vaisheshika are part of the 6 Astika Darshanams. Our intellect always craves for logical solutions for everything. So it is essential before you go to Vedanta to study logic, to study Tarkashastra, so that we can prove to ourselves. For Mananam, it is very useful. So next is Mimamsa. Mimamsa has 2 branches. One is Dharma Mimamsa or Sankarshana Kanda. The next is Brahma Mimamsa or Brahma Sutra. Dharma Mimamsa, written by Jaimini Maharshi, has got 12 chapters. The method of performance of all yajna, karma are given in Dharma Mimamsa. Mimamsa means Pujita Vicharaha, respectful inquiry. So this Purva Mimamsa gives the karmas. It inquires also. Purva Mimamsa is one of the major Purva Pakshis in Advaitam. So next is the Sankarshana Kanda or Devata Kanda. This is also written by Jaimini and has 4 chapters. Next is Brahma Mimamsa. Brahma Mimamsa is also called Brahma Sutram or Shariraka Mimamsa or Shariraka Sutras. This is written by Vyasacharya, has got 4 chapters and 555 sutras. Chapter 1 is establishing that all the Upanishad Vakyams have their purport in the Nirguna Advaita Brahma only. That is the chapter 1. Second chapter is, this chapter removes the doubts of all dull intellect, Manda Buddhi people who see contradictions in the Upanishads. It was the why Upanishad is telling something here and something else somewhere else. All these things. When he describes creation, one Upanishad will say 5 elements. Another Upanishad will say 3 elements. So all these things, all these doubts are cleared by the second chapter. It also refutes the other darshanas. That's called Avirodha Adhyaya. That's why that chapter is called Avirodha Adhyaya. In the third chapter, the means of knowledge and meditation are discussed. That's the third chapter. The fourth chapter discusses the phalam or benefit of knowledge and meditation. The next comes, before that, there are 39 available commentaries for Brahma Sutram, out of which Adi Shankara alone is most reverentially used, read and analyzed. That has got another commentary called Ratna Prabha on it. So next is Dharma Shastra, which is the last of the 18 branches of knowledge. Dharma Shastra is by all the Dharma Shastras, by Manu, Yagyavalkya, Vishwamitra, Angirasa, all these things, Vasishta, everything comes under Dharma Shastra, including the Agama Shastras and Pancharatram, Pashupada, by Shaktam, everything comes under Dharma Shastra. So they help in meditation. Then from there, we go to knowledge, jnanam, and then to liberation. That is the purpose of the Dharma Shastras. So that more or less completes our 18 knowledge sites. And once again, I thank you all for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful knowledge shared. And I am not sure if I understood everything. I'll come to you for explanations further, Doctor. Some of them were out, they over the head 6 for me. I will then contact you later. Okay.
See, I am not a very computer savvy individual.
Pardon?
I am not very computer savvy individual. So otherwise I would have prepared a PowerPoint presentation and put up all this in a table form.
The subject konjam romba vividha irundhathu, and you have gave us a very good account of Vedas, Puranas, Puranas, and other things, and we were enlightened by the vast knowledge of yourself. Thank you so much. I don't find words to thank you enough. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Our senior member, Dr. Mr. Sivakumar Aiyer, will now say the Shanti Mantra. Sivakumar Mahoday.
Geetha Mata, we will go for vote of thanks now.
Acha, vote of thanks. Okay. Sivakumar ji will now say vote of thanks, and after that we will go for Shanti Mantra. Sorry.
Namaskaram sarvebhyah. Pratamam dhanyavadam datum ichchami Srimati Geetha Muthuswamy ityasya adyatana Samskrita Vani karyakramasya sanchalanaaya Prarthana Geetam Sundaram Kritva Kumari Thejaswini ityasya dhanyavadah api. Subhashitam tasya artham cha sundaram kathayatum Shri Ramakrishnan Mahodayasya dhanyavadah. Swagata sambodhanartham Srimati Vishali tasya dhanyavadah. Bhagavad Gita eka shlokam vyakyatum Dr. Sushrutha Mahodayasya dhanyavadah. Ganesha Bhujangam Sundaram Pratipadiyatum Harikriss ityasya dhanyavadah. Narasimha Purane Dharavahit Bhashanartham Shri Abhinav Mahodayasya Visheshat dhanyavadah. अष्टादश विद्यास्थान विषये भाषणार्थं डॉक्टर बालसुब्रह्मण्य महोदयस्य इत्यस्मै धन्यवादम्। उपस्थितानां सर्वेषां कृते अपि धन्यवादं प्रकटयामि। धन्यवादः।
शांति मंत्रम।
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
धन्यवादः महोदय।
धन्यवादः।